They towed my truck like it didn't belong there, so I made sure their entire parking lot didn't exist anymore. It started with a notice. Thin paper, thick attitude. Unauthorized vehicle, subject to towing. It was taped to a pole near the mailboxes, slightly crooked, easy to ignore. No email, no message. Just that one sheet acting like it was enough. I had parked in the same spot for 3 years. Same routine, same neighbors, no issues. Then overnight, I was suddenly unauthorized. The next morning, my truck was gone. At first, I thought it had been stolen. I walked the entire lot, checking every row twice. Nothing. Then, I noticed the bright orange sticker stuck to the curb. Towed per ho authorization. That's when I knew. I called the number listed. The towing company picked up fast. Yeah, we got it at 2:14 a.m., the guy said casually. Unauthorized zone. I told him it was my assigned space. He didn't care. Take it up with your HOA, so I did. The management office smelled like stale coffee and cheap air freshener. Greg sat behind the desk, calm, uninterested. I explained everything. Showed him my parking assignment. He glanced at it for barely a second. Those were updated last week. I asked when residents were informed. They were posted. Posted where? Community board. One small corkboard near the mailboxes, half covered in old flyers. That was their notice. I asked why my truck was towed without direct warning. Greg leaned back in his chair, completely unfazed. You're responsible for staying informed. That was it. No apology. No accountability. Just a $280 lesson. So I paid it. Got my truck back. Parked it on the street.
And then I started paying attention.
That night, I walked the entire parking lot, slowly, observing every detail. Something felt off. The new lines didn't make sense. Some spaces were too narrow. Others pushed cars dangerously close to the fire lane. A few even overlapped. Sloppy work. I went home, grabbed a tape measure, and came back. One by one, I checked every space. Too tight. Too close. Not compliant. Then I checked the city regulations. That's when everything changed. Parking layouts, especially shared residential ones, had strict requirements. Minimum width, fire lane clearance, emergency access paths. And HOAs, they weren't above those rules. I searched for approval records. Nothing. No permits. No submissions. No authorization. They had redesigned the entire parking lot without approval. That was their mistake. I started documenting everything. Photos, measurements, angles showing how cars blocked emergency access. Then I found the real problem. 3 of the new parking spots were painted directly over a fire lane buffer, not close to it, on it, which meant every car parked there was violating code. Because of the HOA, perfect. I filed a report with code enforcement. Clean, organized, detailed. 2 days later, an inspector showed up. No warning. I watched from a distance as he walked the lot, measuring wheel in hand, stopping at every mistake. Greg came outside halfway through, trying to explain. It didn't matter. By the end of the inspection, bright violation notices were posted at the entrance. Non-compliant parking configuration. The next morning, the entire lot was shut down. Cones, tape, no parking. Just like that, no one could use it. Residents were forced onto the street. Complaints started immediately. The HOA finally sent out an email. Temporary inconvenience due to safety compliance updates. Temporary turned into 3 weeks. Because fixing it wasn't simple. They had to remove every line, submit proper plans, wait for approval, and repaint everything according to code. During that time, no enforcement was valid. No assigned parking. No towing. Nothing. Greg stopped making eye contact after that. One afternoon, he approached me anyway. You could have just talked to us, he said. I looked at him. I did. He didn't respond. Just nodded once and walked away. Eventually, the parking lot reopened. Clean lines, proper spacing, everything by the book. And a new rule. Any changes must be directly communicated to every resident. Now my truck sits in my spot again. Same place. Same routine. Only difference? No one touches it. Because sometimes, you don't need to argue louder. You just